Hello everyone, welcome to the catch-all for the week of February 26th to March 4th. I am, as always, or sometimes, your host, Josh Silverman. For today's news, we have stories primarily written by Tom Stapley as well as myself. So, before you ask, this is getting recorded and released on Monday the 6th. There was an original recording that was lost. No, this was not due to playing the Switch. I swear, this was just personal stuff came up that delayed a lot of aspects. Had to make a last minute trip, but that's not important. Seriously, not related to the Switch. Alright, let's continue on with the news. First up, after the arguable flop of the first Destiny, Bungie has confirmed that Destiny 2 will be released fall of this year. Bungie is taking what they learned after Destiny's failures, such as the planets being very linear and feeling more like a racetrack than an actual explorable map, stating they are going to improve the planets and make them larger and more open. Of course, your character from the previous game won't transfer over, which in the end really isn't a surprise. It's also heavily suggested the game will come to PC, which brings with itself new challenges, since there were many skills that boosted aim assist. Oh, and the game will definitely be bad if Dinklebot doesn't return. Keep that in mind. He's not gonna return, don't believe he's going to. Next up for you guys, Mass Effect is a game where you are forced to make mature decisions that can affect a broad scope of things. And now, you get the option to not only go to bed with a character, but you get to see everything they have, and I mean everything. BioWare's general manager Aaron Flynn has hinted at in a line of tweets that they dumped partial nudity and are going full frontal and even describing it as softcore porn? What does this mean? Simple, don't buy this game for kids and play when the little cherubs have gone to bed. Otherwise you may end up with an impromptu discussion about the birds and the bees. Speaking of Mass Effect, another wonderful video in the Mass Effect Andromeda gameplay series dropped last week, this time detailing exploration, how the Nomad will be upgradable, and what type of mission flow we'll experience in our new galaxy. Time depending, we may cover this and the previous week's videos on the Constant Calibrating podcast, so make sure to tune into that. 25 years after its initial release, Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis got an extreme makeover in the form of a fan-made game with the same name. The remake had the sole intention to recreate the highly acclaimed original and would include new music, voiceovers, and sound effects. Lucasfilm caught wind of this and asked the devs to cease and desist, stating that they didn't want to share the license to Indiana Jones at this time. The game was available download until the 5th of March, and after that, it kind of seems unlikely the game will return unless Lucasfilm suddenly has a change of heart. Last week, while filming the catch-all, I, Josh Silverman, became very excited about the prospect of co-op being in this upcoming Styx Shards of Darkness, but had no information to go on regarding it. It was just haphazardly thrown in at the end of that trailer, you know? Well, it seems Cyanide heard my confusion and released an entire trailer last week focusing on co-op in the game. Limited information is given out in the video outside of how cool it looks to roam a level with another Styx. But from reading additional sources, it seems like it will be a bit of a drop-in drop-out co-op with another player throughout the whole campaign. Players will be able to perform synchronous assassinations, but also have to coordinate or run the risk of getting captured. And before you ask, Master of Shadows did a nice job setting up the notion of multiple Styx clones of full intelligence. So, 2 roaming Styx isn't all that far-fetched. That being said, this is also a game featuring a fair bit of fourth wall breaking, as reported last week, so logic may not exactly be their goal. Shards of Darkness is releasing on March 14th on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. No Switch though, because I guess I'm not allowed to be stealthy while in the toilet? That is the catch-all for this week. Again, sorry for the delay in getting it out. Both myself and Ryan had a lot of personal death and potential death-related stuff going on, which just didn't allow things to happen as smoothly as we would have liked. But it was being the second episode back, we just wanted to make sure we got it out, even if it is a few days late. Even if no one ends up watching it, some good news stories. I had to cut a lot of really awesome stuff, including the Shadow of War announcement and things like that. There was a lot of great stuff last week that you can go back and listen to last week's podcast, this week's podcast. We're going to have a lot of news coverage for anything we may have missed in this catch-all. But please come back next Saturday for another episode of Catch-all. Yes, on time this time, where we'll go into all of the weekly gaming news, all that fun stuff, quick, easy to digest format. Thank you guys for watching. We bid you good sign-off.